Welcome to Harp and Hearth, the May concert. I'm Martha Gallagher, and I am delighted that you are here with me for this time of songs, stories, and in-the-moment inspirations. So here we are in the month of May, the merry, merry month of May, a time for the ancient Celts, which was actually marked the beginning of summer. This was marked by the holiday or the celebration of Beltane, which was the bright fire, celebrating fertility. And not just fertility of people, but fertility of the livestock, fertility of the land. And I'm going to add fertility of creativity. And so it's also the time of when the April showers are bringing the May flowers. And for me, that's still like very early daffodils here in upstate northeastern New York in the Adirondack Mountains. But maybe for you, you've got many, many other flowers. And the flower of May is the lily of the valley. And we'll celebrate that a little later on. I've been really having a ball reading a lot of books recently. And it's interesting that they really have inspired the content of this performance, because I wanted to celebrate May, and I was reading this beautiful book by Maya Toll called The Wild Wisdom Companion, and it's just full of beautiful illustrations and wonderfully spiritually connecting writings and lyrical language about the seasons. Also reading The Gentle Art of Blessing. So as I continue my work as the blessing woman, I am blessed by all these wonderful inspirations and resources. And also I'll tell you about another book in a moment that I was inspired by. I thought it would be beautiful to bless this time of year. The fire, the fertility, the greening, the breezes, and the rhythm of the earth. This beginning of May, the new moon, a time of new beginnings. The ancient Celtic culture seeing this time as the beginning of summer. The fire of the sun and the breezes of change. The fertile earth, the fertile livestock, the fertile wild beasts, the fertile humans, the fertile imagination. A time of new growth. Bless this time of growing, of greening, of dreaming, being manifested, dreams made real. And as the flowers bloom, and as the leaves come out, as the wild beasts dance, and as we stand in the sun, we bless this earth. We bless all creatures, all things, and we bless this time of year, the time we call May. May we grow. May we manifest our dreams. May we love the earth. May we be. Blessings. Blessings. Always an interesting journey to just let the music flow and let the words flow. Comes out different every time. And that's part of the beauty of it. It's always in the moment. I love that. Well, I had said that I had been reading some other books as well. And a couple of them, a new one by this amazing, I guess she goes by mystic poet is what she's called. Chalon Harkin, and she has a beautiful book that came out, I think, a few years ago. I can't talk today. Susceptible to Light. And I just got this one, new one, Let Us Dance, which I love, the stumble and whirl with the beloved. And I sat down to read this the other morning because I had just gotten it. And it was so inspiring that I just had words flow out of me, just came bursting out. And I wanted to share them with you because May has always been a time that's made me restless. I got the spring heebie-jeebies. There's no doubt about it. And underneath that, it's not just the season, though. It's the continuing upward spiral of life. That when I come to this time in the seasons of the year and the seasons of the earth, I just feel changes happening within me. And I don't really know what they all may be. But writing this down, I thought, this is inviting me to something new, and I wanted to share it with you, and I'm just holding it in the notebook that I wrote it in the other day. And I call it, Now You've Gone and Done It. Now you've gone and done it. All I wanted was to sit in my chair with my coffee and read a few thoughtful words. But no, you opened the book, and the book blew the doors off my mind and my heart. And my thoughts, they spilled out, and now they will not fit back into my pretty little head. My heart, it's like leaping and kicking over the greening fields like so many lambs and kids, kicking up heels as if they're kicking the stars of soccer balls. And songs, they gush and rush and flood forth as snowmelt and rain with sparklings of diamonds of sunlight on top, spilling over the banks and creating huge ponds of light in low places. And rivers of joy in beds that had long been dry. Yeah. It's a toy box, and the toy box has been upended, turned over, dumped out onto the carpet, all over the living room, and now it's spreading all through the house. What a glorious mess, though. A glorious mess of sizes and shapes and colors. And to go from here to there, I have to move amongst all those things spilled out. I dance between the toys all over the floor. I sail over the river. I dive into the ponds, kicking up the heels of my heart as I leap across the greening. Bright star-like flowers appearing. where my feet have been in the grass. There's no going back now. Yep. Now you've gone and done it. I just love being able to share those raw or half-baked ideas. That's where I am as an artist, and I love that. And I don't know where, if anywhere, this may lead me, but it's doing something. I got those spring heebie-jeebies. But I thought I would share with you a look back, a little not a retrospective really, that's not correct, but a look backwards. Because at this time, the beginning of May, we've got the new moon. We've just stepped over the threshold from that last waning crescent of the moon, releasing, letting go. And now we're coming to the growing, and that starts with the new moon. And at that point in time, those thresholds, I love to just pause and look back over my shoulder to see and to celebrate moments, inspirations, achievements, whether it was a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, half a lifetime ago. Back in the summer of 2020, in our full-blown lockdown, I invited myself to create a new piece of music every week. And I would record them, and I recorded them in a very half-baked state. So it wasn't like I learned the pieces. They're very improvisational. I would have a theme would come to me, a musical theme, and I would just run with it. I called these gratitunes because they were songs or tunes that were expressing gratitude about something in my daily life. And I'd love to share one with you now. It's called Time to Ponder. And it came about because I was literally chopping up fresh thyme for a recipe that I was going to make. And the fragrance of that earthy, green, rich, lush, heady thyme just invaded my sense of smell and my whole being. And I stopped chopping and just took some time to ponder. Oh, I can smell that time now. I hope you enjoyed that. You know, there's another place that I love to go where time grows in abundance, and that is a cemetery just down the road. I was there recently for a funeral, and as I walked across the grass, the thyme growing in there, that smell of thyme came up, which I love. But also, it always makes me laugh because it occurs to me that there, in the cemetery, you've got all the time in the world. But I wanted to share that at the funeral, this beautiful song was played on bagpipes. And I had kind of forgotten about this song. So I thought, I'm going to revisit it and share it with you. The Sky Boat Song. Enjoy. Thank you. What a beautiful tune, truly. I kind of love this format of curating live and recorded music. And I'm going back to some things that I have recorded in the past, knowing that unless you're like a completely avid, rabid fan, you might never have heard these pieces. And so instead of sharing with you individually, I'll just share them here. This next one is a poem, and it's something that came to me in the middle of the night, which, I'm at an age where there's often a trip to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and I love just looking out the window before I go back to bed and seeing what the sky is doing. And on this particular night, the sky was filled with stars. And as I went to lay back down to go to sleep, instead of just drifting off, these words of poetry came to me, and I sat up, turned my light on, and wrote them down. The next day, I was reading them while I was listening to my Just a Moment music. I do each morning. And I realized how perfectly the words and the music of that day, that one short minute of beautiful music, went perfectly together. I call this star stuff. Did you hear the stars last night? They were calling out from every corner of the sky in their brilliance. No wonder I couldn't sleep. They called to my essence, my star stuff, buried deep within mitochondria. And I answered, yes, I am here. Can you hear me? Can you see me shining? So I actually do recommend that you keep a pad and pencil right by your bed so that if in the middle of the night you get inspired by star stuff, you can write down what comes to you. So as I mentioned earlier, I think in my introduction, the month of May, the flower of the month of May is the lily of the valley. And I just love lily of the valley. They're so beautiful in its little compactness, these beautiful white flowers, little bells coming out of the great big green leaves, which get rather unattractive after the flowers have gone by, I'll admit. But that fragrance, it's heady, it's just heavenly, it's just, whew. And I have a whole patch by the front porch, and it's near where Dennis and I love to sit. So there comes a point in time for us, not at the very beginning of May, more towards the end of May, when those flowers are all in bloom and it's just heavenly. And I thought a really fun piece to play would be White Coral Bells. White coral bells upon a slender stalk, lilies of the valley, bless my garden walk. Oh, don't you wish that you could hear them ring? That will happen only when the fairies sing. That will happen only when the fairies sing. Thank you. Thank you. I just couldn't resist throwing in a little bit of Shebeg Arshimor, which is the big fairies and the little fairies. Because fairies, oh, the Irish fairies, don't mess with the Irish fairies. And this time of Beltane, of the 1st of May, that was a time you had to be very wary of the fairies because they had their own agenda. They aren't these sugar-coated fairies that we often associate with fairies. They actually had a little deviousness in them. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed that medley of White Coral Bells and Shebeg Akshimor. As I mentioned, we have just come from the final crescent of the waning moon, letting go, releasing, and stepping over the threshold to the new moon and to the beginning of this month of growth and manifestation. And I thought one of the things that goes hand in hand, I believe, with both releasing, letting go, and embracing, growing the manifestation of dreams is forgiveness. Forgiveness of others, forgiveness of family, friends, strangers, people halfway across the world, people right next door, but also, as importantly, forgiveness of self. And I'm going to share with you now a piece that I did. It was one of my gratitudes back from 2020. It's called Forgiveness Dancing with Grace. And you'll notice I recorded it outdoors. And I didn't actually think I was in the frame so much. But what I really wanted to capture was behind me is this beautiful flowering shrub called the beauty bush. And the butterflies just flock to it. And so keep your eyes on that beautiful flowering shrub behind me and enjoy the flight of the butterflies as you welcome in forgiveness, dancing with grace. Oh, what a beautiful piece. I mean, I know it was in its half-baked stage, but what a beautiful piece of music. And you know, it kind of surprised me that something that was so beautiful and tender came through me in that moment. I just love it. And I love those butterflies dancing. When I set up the camera, there were even more. But it's just an amazing short period of time in the year when those flowers are in full bloom and the butterflies are just all over, literally dancing all over the beauty bush. And so it seemed perfect to have a piece with dancing in it and forgiveness. Dancing with grace. Yes, I think that's how it should be. I had an idea for a song we can kind of do as a sing-along. I know the virtual sing-along thing is difficult, but nonetheless, what the heck, you know? And the idea of, forgiveness, grace, family, friends, loved ones, self. I thought this song, which is one you probably know and can be done in a round, would be fun to do. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sing it through 3 times. And I'm just going to assume that you know where to come in if you want to sing it as a round. And I will try at the end of my 3rd time through to leave space at the end for those of you who may have started the next part, the B part or the C part of the round. And so it's Make New Friends. So I'm sure probably most of you know this piece, a real simple one. And like I said, I'll do it 3 times through, and I hope you will sing along, and you will get the benefit of hearing at least two voices, unless you've got somebody else with you who might be singing a 3rd part. So let's try it in this key. So it'd be, make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other is gold. And I'll try not to pause, that dramatic pause like that. I'll just do it straight through. Okay, so here we go. Ready? And make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other is gold. Make new friends and keep the old. Both are more precious than silver or gold. Well, that was fun from my end. I don't know about you, but I hope it was fun for you. And I couldn't resist just throwing in something else. I had those butterflies still in my mind, and so I just added on. And yeah, new friends, old friends, definitely more precious than silver or gold. So we have come to the time where we're going to wrap up this gathering this evening, and I again am so delighted that you chose to be here, and thank you for coming. As most of you know, I think, that I offer these concerts for free, and I am delighted to do so. And I also am deeply grateful for any contributions that you might love to give. So a gift of gratitude you can send via my website, adkharper.com, and there you'll see a place where you can give a gift of gratitude. And for that, I am grateful. Thank you. And I think I'll take us out this evening on this beautiful May Day evening with just a little extension of what I just did with Make New Friends. We'll let the butterflies take us out. Blessings to you.